What's up, guys? It's been a while since I filmed, but video just got cut off, so I'm going to remake it again. But yeah, if this video is about goal setting, I want to talk about the value of goal setting, right? So I just read the book, listened to the book, The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone, and I also read his book, Be Obsessed or Be Average. So I think this is a really good time to talk about it. And I've also heard other creators talk about goals, like creators that, like, it makes sense. It makes sense to set up goals, but I also want people to understand why it makes sense and why you have to do it, right? So when it comes to goal setting and setting up goals, you need to have some sort of mission in place, right? I've already said that, but in terms of goal setting, you need to be able to like set like real unattainable goals, right? You want to set goals that seem like they're out of your reach right now, right? Something that seems impossible, like becoming a billionaire even if you're broke, or becoming that shredded fit guy even if you're obese. You need to have goals just like that, because if you do not do that, right, this is what the average person does when it comes to goal setting. You know, they may be working, right now they may be making $50K a year at a job, and they decide, you know what, my goal is going to be, I'm going to make $80K because it seems realistic, it's within reach. You know, I can get a couple of promotions and I get to $80K and everything's great, $80K a year, which, hey, that sounds good on the surface, but that's chump change. Like, that's not really going to change you that much. You're basically going to be a couple of promotions in the same job. Like, that's not life-changing money, right? And that's what I love about the book, the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. He talks about how you need to make it out of this world. You need to make the goal seem unattainable, because when it seems unattainable, it forces you to grow. It forces you to take action that's beyond your current capabilities. Yes, you will probably fail. You will probably face a ton of adversity. You will probably want to quit. But that's the point. The goal is supposed to be hard, right? If you're chasing some pocket change goal, I just made that up, I actually like that, but yeah, some pocket change goal, you're just gonna get pocket change money. Like, you're not gonna get the results that you want from it. And that's what he talks about from it. He talks about that this is what most people do, and this is what most people get wrong. And I agree with him. I really do. I've also heard Brandon Carter say this as well. So it's not even just Grant Cardone who said it, who's probably worth like around around like 700 million. So yeah, that guy was worth a shit ton of money. But yeah, like you want to like set up goals that seem unattainable for you, because then it pushes you to take action towards it. Another thing about the goals that you should start doing is actually writing it down. Like, write it down on a notebook or a piece of paper, right? Like, actually write it down, because when you write things down, you're making a commitment towards that goal, right? And you're more likely to continue to act towards that commitment, right? And you're more likely gonna, you're gonna take actions that support that commitment, right? And that's from another book I've learned, and that's the book Influence, right? It talks about how the Chinese indoctrinated American POWs by making them make a small commitment on America not being so perfect, right? And then talking about one good thing about communism. They made a small commitment, and then they were more likely to make a bigger commitment later. And then by the end, when they returned home, they were indoctrinated by communism, which is insane to think about, right? But it made sense. And you could do this to yourself. You could brainwash yourself with your goals, right? So when you write it down, you see what your goal is. Maybe you want to become a billionaire, right? You start taking actions towards becoming a billionaire, right? Maybe you learn sales. Maybe you do market research where there's a need, right? Maybe you look to solve a major problem. Something like that, right? But you start taking actions toward that. Maybe you start reading books. You start reading more self-development business books. You stop drinking, right? Because it's gonna stop you. It's gonna slow you down from reaching your goal. Stuff like that. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna keep creating more content, so subscribe and take care.